Any one of them, he comes and say, "Yeah, I'm with the human rights. Let's stop this." You know. Now they care about the Syrian people. No, it's really bad conspiracy, because I told you they want to kill us because we are defeating our country, and we are the last chance for the Arabs, you know, for the Arabs. I mean leaders, Arabs leaders, because they're all betraying us, all of them. Do you think there is a revolution here? No.
هل تظن انه الدكتور بشار الاسد رئيس الجمهورية العربية السورية هو رجل ديكتاتوري؟
طبعا لا.
جيدا.
أنا لا أظن إنه الدكتور بشار، السيد الرئيس الدكتور بشار، إنه دكتاتوري. بالعكس هو كتير إنسان محاور، وشفناه كتير بالحارات الشعبية عنا، كان يجي لعنا كتير على المطاعم، وشفناه كتير بحالات يعني منا وفينا.
When the Arab Spring came to Damascus, the protests were peaceful and defiant. The demands were clear. People wanted to topple the regime.
If we're speaking now about how popular the protest movement is, I think this is a problem, because we don't know. We don't have an accurate method to measure things. But what I know for a fact, that when the president or president loyalists or government supporters go down to the streets, they can rally up to 3 million in 5 or 6 squares around Syria. There are protests in Syria, and they have popular support. But I think government supporters are still the majority by far.
We want Bashar al-Assad! We want Bashar al-Assad! We want Bashar al-Assad!
Esa élite europea, élite política, económica, que parece no lograr todavía, a pesar de los años que han transcurrido, desprenderse de la idea imperial. Se creen superiores a nosotros, pues. Se creen con derechos divinos, incluso, ¿será? De imponerle gobiernos a los pueblos árabes, a los pueblos africanos, a los pueblos latinoamericanos. ¿Qué cosa es esa? Oye, ¿cuántos problemas tiene Francia ahorita? ¿Cómo está el desempleo en Francia ahorita, Ramón? ¿Tú tienes datos de eso? ¿Qué te dicen la fuente de AFP? El desempleo, las empresas quebrando, los bancos saqueando a los pueblos.
Israel, it is not our real enemy.
We take help from anyone. Israel, we don't care.
Well, last year we went to the Palestinian border. Palestinian people, are Syrian people, some of Arab people. They went to the Palestinian border on Konaitra, to the Konaitra. It's which means it's 1 hour, 1 hour and a half far from here. It was Nakba Day, which is the day for Palestinian people is very important day to remember it. We were protesters on the border, so the Israeli people was soldiers. I mean, they start to shoot us and throw gas bombs on us, and then they start to shoot us with real bullets. And I had my cousin. He died because of this in front of my eyes. I couldn't do anything. I was only throwing stones.
You know, since 1948, since the so-called formation of the State of Israel, or the Zionist entity as some people call it, in every war between the Arabs and Israel, Syria was involved. In every time that Israel tried to attack an Arab country or tried to attack Arabs in general, Syria was involved.
I feel bad about this because, you know, Syria is the last Arab country who is against Israel and United States.
In 1948, battalions from the Syrian army moved into Palestine and took part in the Salvation War, as the Arab historians call it. In 1956, when Israel attacked Egypt along with France and Britain, Syrian officers were there, and the first suicide attacker or istishhadi attacker was Joel Jamal, a Christian from Latakia city. He attacked Jeanne d'Arc, the French war vessel, with his torpedo boat. In 1967, Syria was attacked by Israel in the June War. In 1973, obviously, Syria was the main partner or was the side that launched war against Israel. In 1982, in the invasion of Lebanon, Syrian troops were on Lebanese territories, and they contributed in fighting Israel. And we lost many soldiers in Lebanon, more than 3,000 at least in the Israeli invasion, and 10,000 in safeguarding Lebanon in general. And if we proceed to say, like in every major war, Syria was involved. Even in 2006, Syria was a close supporter to the resistance in Lebanon, in terms of accepting Lebanese refugees in Syria, and in terms, according to some intelligence sources and some journalists, of supporting the resistance, whether in arms or in technology or in resources, to be able to carry on fighting the war against Israel.
Nosotros estamos, yo creo que muy lejos de aquella situación que se vivió en Nicaragua. En primer lugar, era solo la revolución cubana la que apoyaba a Nicaragua, ningún otro país. Casi todos los países de América Latina, cuando no apoyaban abiertamente la agresión contra los sandinistas, contra el pueblo de Nicaragua, callaban. Y por omisión apoyaban. La Venezuela de hoy no es la Nicaragua de entonces. La América Latina de hoy no es la América Latina de entonces.
But the problem that the Arabs people and Arabs leaders are fighting me to serve Israel. I'm like a brother to them, you know. I don't know why they are fighting me as a Syrian. We are like brothers. We must fight Israel together because Israel came and took our land.
لم يثني كبر سن هذه المرأة العجوز في مساعدة أبناء حيها باصطياد هذا الإرهابي المسلح الجبان المتخفي وراء زي النسائي خلال محاولته إبعاد الشبهات عنه وتضليل حماة الديار في أثناء تطهير منطقة يلدا بريف دمشق من فلول الإرهابيين المرتزقة بعد ارتكابهم أعمال قتل ونهب وسرقة بحق أهالي المنطقة.
احنا بابا الله يبارك لكم الله يتم بلادكم الله يلمن نسوانكم ليه جاي 64 سنة
لا جزيرة ولا عربية
لا جزيرة ولا عربية
سوريا الدنيا الإخبارية
سوريا الدنيا الإخبارية Fuck you جزيرة Fuck you جزيرة Fuck you BBC Fuck you BBC
Must the people, European people, speak with the media? They are liars.
I don't believe so much in conspiracy theories, but what I firmly believe is that many leading media channels around the world have started telling the story of Syria in a certain way, and after a while they can't go back because everything they said before sounds ridiculous.
You know, if the media speak the truth, we stop each problem here. If you speak truth, believe me, you know, the terrorists, why they didn't stop? Because the media protected them. They say, you are right, kill, we want blood in Syria. Did the media, what they do, the media, if they speak truth, we finish everything. We come back like before. We come back the same.
I want to send a message for BBC, Al Arabiya, CNN, Al Jazeera, and the whole media companies and TV stations and newspaper, whatever. Just please, please, please have conscience. Work in the conscience. Be a human being. Your work is really a sensitive work.
يعني أنا بدي أوجه لهم رسالة للقنوات إنه يا أما ينقلوا لنا الصورة الصح اللي عم بصير عنا مزبوط، يا أما يحلوا عنا، يتركونا بحالنا ويتركونا نشوف شغلنا.
I would love to say to the all Syrian people, live together like before, love each others like before, and our problems we can figure out how we make a solutions for our problems. Don't let anyone from abroad to come and control us and to tell us what we have to do. We know how to organize our things, and we know how to find the solutions of our problems, and that's better. We still Syrians, we still love each other. We're brothers anyway, in one country, we still live in one country.
What I would like to see from my country is that it maintain its rightful place as the independent, staunch enemy of the imperialist vultures, the US, Israel, and their puppets, NATO and the GCC countries. And may Syria defeat all her enemies and be the nation that stops the imperialist plans in their tracks.
هو كتير إنسان محاور، وشفناه كتير بالحارات الشعبية عنا، كان يجي لعنا كتير على المطاعم، وشفناه كتير بحالات يعني منا وفينا.
When the Arab Spring came to Damascus, the protests were peaceful and defiant. The demands were clear. People wanted to topple the regime.
If we're speaking now
for the Arabs, I mean leaders, Arabs leaders, because they're all betraying us, all of them. Do you think there is a revolution here? No.
هل تظن انه الدكتور بشار الاسد رئيس الجمهورية العربية السورية هو رجل ديكتاتوري؟
طبعا لا.
جيدة.
أنا لا أظن إنه الدكتور بشار، السيد الرئيس الدكتور بشار إنه دكتاتوري. بالعكس.
Any one of them, he comes and say, "Hey, I'm with the human rights. Let's stop this." You know. Now they care about the Syrian people. No, it's really bad conspiracy, because I told you they want to kill us because we are defeating our country, and we are the last chance for the Arabs, you know.
Around Syria, there are protests in Syria, and they have popular support. But I think government supporters are still the majority by far.
We want Bashar al-Assad! We want Bashar al-Assad! We want Bashar al-Assad!
Esa élite europea.
About how popular the protest movement is, I think this is a problem, because we don't know. We don't have an accurate method to measure things. But what I know for a fact that when the president or present loyalists or government supporters go down to the streets, they can rally up to 3 million in 5 or 6 squares around the